Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. Thursday, February 9th, 2023. You know what's sickening to me? Do you know what is sickening to me? Well, seeing exactly what you and I believed would happen. Global bond yields are again dropping. Here in the United States, the U.S. 10-year yield is lower. Who's buying the debt? Who is buying the debt? Now let's just step back a moment here. So we got this again phenomenon, bond yields dropping here. We have the relative strength of the dollar markedly lower this morning. And wouldn't you know it, stock futures higher pretty much across the board. Trading doesn't start for about 32 minutes from the time I am doing this. 31 minutes now. And what does that mean? It looks like stocks are about to open higher. What else did we find out, people? More corporate layoffs. Disney laying off another 7,000 people. This phenomenon of corporate layoffs is going to be... I explained at the end of last year, we discussed it right here, how this was going to play out. And this is what's going to happen here. Jobless claims, initial jobless claims, just talk about that this morning, came in higher than expected, but not by much. These numbers are not real. None of them are real. But what you and I can expect moving forward, well, let me pose this as a question to all of you. If we understand that collectively central banks are on a mission to crush the economy by crushing the consumer, okay, what do you think this means for the U.S. job market? How about the global job market moving forward? What do you think? Yeah, exactly. More and more people are going to lose their jobs. And we know this to be one of the goals of, well, at least the Federal Reserve. We heard from Lex Luthor. You know those eyes? The man is possessed by the devil. I'm telling you, along with a lot of those other freaks over there. Loretta Mester. Yeah, she's another one. I mean, they're possessed by the devil. No doubt about it. Mary Dolly said, yes, people need to lose their jobs. Lex Luthor, same thing. Neil Cash and Carey, same thing. Could you imagine, honestly? And then you got President Biden praising jobs creation. You can't make it up. You can't do it. But that's just the situation, and it's not going to get any better moving forward. But what you can expect here is exactly what you and I have outlined on this blog, well, since I don't know how long now, people. The illusion of stability is being maintained here in the market. Look at January, just as an example. This market took off in January, and it looks like it's resuming here. We watched a crazy amount of volatility in the debt market towards the end of last year, if you recall. Go watch my old videos. I was saying, we discussed it right here, how we, and I believe most of you are on the same page as me, believed that central banks were going to do more to keep rates suppressed, to maintain that illusion of stability in the debt market. That's exactly what has happened. And I think it's going to happen again. I really, really do. So forget about the crash callers over here and the crash callers over there. A crash is coming. Look, this is no epiphany to you or me. Yes, because none of this makes sense. The distortions that exist today in the entire financial system are beyond belief. They're off the Richter scale by exponents, and it's not going to stop. Until it does. Until it does. And like I've been explaining to all of you, and we have discussed repeatedly here, there's no guesswork. People, in my opinion, you and I have the best indicator for the stock market, for the global economy, well, not really, well, yeah, actually, in some ways, in the history of the world. And that is the Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, MMRI. And I've been explaining to you, as the global economy continues to contract, okay, how many times have you heard me say this? The stock market's going higher. The disconnect between the stock market and the economy, this gap, which I've showed you for years, is going to get wider and wider and wider and wider and wider until it doesn't. Then, of course, we're going to get a snapback moment here. And that snapback moment is not a stock market event. It's a debt market event. this is what bothers me too. And I would love to hear your take on this. Why do you think, for example, you never hear about the epic distortions that are present in the global equity markets, real estate markets as well, and everything else because of the unbelievably insane, out of control hyper debt bubble? You don't hear about this. So once in a while you might get a little bit of truth here from one of the mainstream media outlets. They'll bring out a guest who talks about how the debt is a problem and the global debt is a bubble. But very, very, very infrequently. It's like you can't know about it. They try to hide this from people. And I'll tell you something. The main reason behind it is because it goes against the narrative that central banks are trying to push upon the people of the world, that they're shrinking their balance sheets, that the money supply is contracting, which is not, okay? Debt must constantly and relentlessly expand and expand and expand. I got something in my eye again. I can't believe this. Sorry. Anyway, it's just not going to stop. And that's the mechanism here, and you all know that. So what does that mean for you and me? Again, look, let's talk about solutions here. You and I, we're in the right spots. Betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, realizing where we're going in the longer run, but at the same time, taking advantage of the short run here, being long the market, owning a company or an exchange-traded fund or a few of these that are paying you to own them, having exposure to the long end of the market. That's the truth here. We're in all the right spots. We also understand that eventually, when this comes down, we're going to need exposure to commodities. These are my favorite of all time. But you can't go wrong, in my opinion, here. And this is, look, do your own research on this. Energy is going to take off. It's just a matter of time. And it's multifactorial here why that's going to happen. First of all, war is going to expand. War requires energy. War requires dollars, funding, which is massively inflationary as well. You're not allowed to know that. It's insane how when you have government leaders around the world, and they're not really the government here. Let's talk about Mummy Man himself, sending all this money over to fund the war, and how that is inflationary because it dilutes the money pool. Central banks are continuing to do this. They have to continue to fund everything. It's a mechanism to pull cash into the now. You're all well aware of that. Anyway, I think we're straight on what I just talked about. Let's look over at this market. So as I said, 10-year yield lower, global bond yields dropping. Who's buying the debt? U.S. dollar, relative strength lower. Crude oil, not doing too much. We've had quite a run here as of late, and it's going much, much higher. But stock futures are higher, as I said. Gold and silver right now are relatively flat, nothing really going on here. Cryptocurrencies as well, Bitcoin under 23,000 once again. And essentially, people, that's where we stand with this freak show of freak shows. And it's not going to get any less freaky moving forward, I can promise you that. Now, yesterday, I posed a question as to what all of you think I should do with this platform. Do I stick to my pre-recorded morning report like this one and follow that up with one at the end of the day and continue my midday live stream? Seems like a lot of you like that. It's a very close tie between doing a morning pre-recorded report and a end of the day live stream as well. So I still want to hear your opinion on this. I'm not clear as to what you all want me to do. Again, I want to do what you want. I'll go with the majority here. So for now, until I get a clear picture, we're going to continue with pre-recorded morning report, pre-recorded post-market report, and a live stream in the middle, which means today you're going to see me on my live stream 10 a.m. I always screw this up. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you do subscribe to this blog, you'll get a notification. I usually get on board around 15 minutes prior. You should get a notification of when I'm going to do that live stream. And like I said, for now, we're going to keep it this way until I hear from more of you as to what you want me to do. All right. So with that said, people, I'm going to end this video. I will see all of you as I said, for my live stream. Please share the video. Please comment as well. Let me know what you think is happening. All right. With that said, I'm out here.